Let's kick it out to Augusta, Georgia. Stephen Hennessey, deputy managing editor of Golf Digest, is out there. And Stephen, I know this is a big week for you and all the guys at Golf Digest. You've got a house rented down there in Augusta. You just left a very fancy dinner. You're probably ready to get this tournament teed off in the morning.
I am. There's just a few hours left to get our bets in if we're procrastinating. So always great to chat with you boys, and it's the best to chat a few hours before we tee off here in Augusta.
Golf Digest does a great job. Follow on Twitter at Golf Digest if you get a chance. Great Masters coverage up there. Stephen Hennessey with us now. All right, so tell us what your day is going to be like, how early you get out to the course, what you're hoping to see, and which players you think are going to get the good side of the weather in terms of the tee times here on Thursday and Friday.
Well, that last part is the key, I think, Matt. The tough stuff seems like it'll roll in Friday afternoon, so a little advantage to the late, early tee time guys. And if you look at that, all those groups at the end of the day tomorrow are some of the marquee groups. So, that bodes well to have a tight finish, perhaps, with all these great guys toward the end. Some people on my betting card as well. So, it seems like Saturday is going to be iffy. There's rumors here, depending on who you talk to, that, they might have to pause play for a few hours, which might cause us to roll into Monday. We're hoping that's not true. The Masters always seems to find a way to finish up on Sunday. They have a few Monday finishes in the past, but I'll be there bright and early, hoping to catch the ceremonial tee shots. It's a special thing. Anyone who's been to the Masters can tell you, being there in the morning, seeing the legends of the game, whoever they were when you were there, whether it was past legends like Byron Nelson and those who started it, or those of today. It is special getting to just walk around. You never know who you're going to see. I mean, we bumped into AJ Green today, Brock Osweiler. Just everyone is a golf fan this week. Everyone wants to be down here, and it's special. Even the dinner I was just at, Scotty Scheffler was there accepting an award, gave a quick little speech. Then I'm sure he went back and watched The Office before he went to sleep to get ready for his tee time tomorrow.
Having those sliders, Scotty style, like he had at the Champions dinner last night.
Very good.
Yeah, Stephen, just looking at, and by the way, I have the Golf Digest panel, which of course Stephen is a part of, looking at some of your selections this week. And Stephen, we've had discussions with bookmakers and other bettors all week long. You get various opinions on how they're going to treat some of these live players this week. And you don't seem to be afraid of them based on what I'm seeing with your plays here on the Golf Digest panel.
Yeah, I'm taking a gamble, admittedly. I really don't know what to expect totally, and you're referring to, my outright of Cam Smith. I'm drifting all the way up to 35-1. Maybe he's even higher out there in Vegas before we tee off here. But 35-1, I just think back to July when he won the Open and his odds were down to 10-1, possibly lower. And sure, we don't get to see Cam Smith play that much golf anymore, but I saw him out here during the practice rounds. There's been rumors that he has a wrist injury. I could tell you that those rumors are false. Our Australian writer, who knows Cam Smith pretty well, spent time with him here this week, said, yeah, he was hitting the ball on the range, not like anyone who has a wrist injury. So you're telling me, I'm getting the guy who probably would be, the number 3, number 4 guy in the world if it wasn't for, Liv not getting world ranking points, who was in the final group here last year with Scotty Scheffler, who also has another T2 in the last 3 years here, and who won the last major at 35-1. I just can't pass that up. And Patrick Reed, too, past champion, has been playing well on Liv. I just think Patrick Reed plays his best golf when he's the villain, and he is truly a villain here. Again, at least in his mind, he has that chip on his shoulder. And at 90-1, again, I think it's worth a shot. And you can make the case for some of these other live guys, too.
If Patrick Reed wins this tournament, Wes, I'm not showing up here Monday.
You don't want to have the shame.
I'm still sick about Patrick Reed's last win in 2018. I mean, that's 4 years ago. Anyway, I'm looking at some of the Golf Digest long shots here. Stephen Hennessey and Patrick Reed is on your list. How about Minwoo Lee, a guy who's been around the 90-1 neighborhood at some books this week, and Justin Rose, who I have at 87-1. Can you talk about a couple of those players that are Golf Digest picks on that panel to be possible dark horse long shot winners?
Yeah, I think Minwoo Lee is our guy, Pat Mayo's pick. He's kind of one of his guys. I mean, hits it a long way. Obviously played great at the Players and actually had a top 15 finish here at Augusta last year. Kind of a rising star who only really avid fans know. And yeah, I think his game translates well here, so I can see why Pat likes him. I think Justin Rose, I am definitely on him. I'm not quite sure if he could win the tournament, but a top 20 bet at about plus 300 or so, I think is a strong bet. I mean, he won Pebble Beach about 6 weeks ago, and then had a great Players Championship too. And the thing I like most is his off the tee game is really improved the last couple of events. If you look at the numbers, that has tended to be a bugaboo of his. That's a huge factor for here at Augusta. We know that the putter could get, lights out, and he has one of the best histories here of anyone who hasn't won before. So, I think top 20 bet, first round leader. I think those are great ways to play Justin Rose starting tomorrow.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.